Well, honestly, I do not think there was any love lost between Jose Mourinho and Arsene Wenger following the latest war of words between both coaches. Some persons are of the opinion that perhaps Wenger's suggestion that Mourinho and other managers are scared to fail, that perhaps must have forced the Portuguese to go for the jugular. However, others think Mourinho went over the top in calling Wenger a specialist in failure. Now, who went wrong, Wenger or Mourinho? These men may not just stop talking. Their recent row is featured on Side View.
It's a rivalry that goes back many years and is still as spicy as ever. One day, the football historians will likely look back at Arsene Wenger's reign, dividing it into two eras, the period with the trophies and the period without. But while 2005 may be the dividing line year, it is perhaps the events of the summer of 2004 which marked the change.
Arsenal have won the league without being beaten. 26 wins, 12 draws. What an achievement for Arsenal.
Wenger's Arsenal team had won the Premier League without losing a game. The term Invincibles had been capitalized, the feat first written into the record books and then consigned to it. It was Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United, the familiar bitter rivals, who stopped the streak of unbeaten games at 49 that October. But it was Chelsea who took away the title, and that was the first coming of Jose Mourinho. It is 2014, and almost a decade later, Mourinho is back at the bridge, with a selection of exotic trophies from his travels around the world under his belt, and this time, he's back to resume the war of words with his old rival, Arsene Wenger. Arsenal fans can continue feigning outrage at Mourinho and his recent dig at the club, but Wenger actually started it. Wenger was asked last week in a press conference why managers like Mourinho have been so keen to talk their side out of the title race. His response:
it's fear to fail. Very open. Only Chelsea can lose it now because we are in front. So, and all the other teams can win it.
Mourinho hurts it towards that red rag hours later in his own press conference.
He is a specialist in failure. I'm not. So if supposedly he is right and I am afraid of fail, it's because I don't fail many times. He's a specialist because 8 years without a piece of silverware, that's failure.
This was the moment that Mourinho articulated the philosophical difference between the two. He manages in a way that's defined by not working like Wenger, and the second part of Wenger's Arsenal career has been defined by its contrast to the Mourinho way. The hostilities were broken up at the weekend, briefly for some football. Arsenal recovered from a crushing 5-1 defeat at Liverpool's hands a week ago to edge the cup contest 2-1 and reach the competition's quarterfinals. Wenger then chose the time to pass judgment on Mourinho's comments, describing the Portuguese as an embarrassment to Chelsea Football Club.
I'm embarrassed for him, honestly. I don't think. I think we are here at Arsenal Football Club. First, I would say I didn't speak about him at all in my press conference, and I have not more to say. Let's focus on things that are worse of it in football, and I'm quite more disappointed for Chelsea than for me.
The French manager has not won many battles against the Portuguese. In fact, on the pitch, Wenger has never overcome Mourinho.
Premiership has always been a media thing, and it's a showman thing, so to speak, and it's a mind game again between the coaches. So it's one of those comments that we are used to, that we hear often and often, either from Mourinho mostly, or even when Sir Alex is still in charge of Man United.
I'm very disappointed, especially coming from the caliber of coach that's the kind of utterances is coming out from. And I think Mourinho is always playing a mind game.
We delve back into the archives to dig out some of the bitter fielding. In October 2005, Mourinho grows tired of Wenger moaning about Chelsea's transfer activity. He says, "I think as one of those people is a voyeur. He likes to watch other people. There are some guys who, when they're at home, have a big telescope to see what happens in other families." In November 2005, Wenger will threaten to take legal action against Mourinho for calling him a voyeur. In his words, Mourinho is out of order, disconnected with reality, and disrespectful. Mourinho then defends a strong-worded attack on Wenger, claiming to have a huge dossier about his quotes on Chelsea. In November 2007, Jose points the finger at Arsenal's policy under Wenger in his new book. He says, unlike Arsenal, we sought success and tried to build it through a concept of the game, using English players. In November 2010, Arsene Wenger accuses Real Madrid boss Jose Mourinho of damaging football's image for instructing Xabi Alonso and Sergio Ramos to get deliberate cautions during a Champions League tie. Mourinho responds to Wenger's comments with a stinging attack on Arsenal's lack of success. In his words, instead of speaking about Real Madrid, Mr. Wenger should speak about Arsenal and explain how he lost 2-0 against a team in the Champions League for the first time. That was FC Braga. The week continued to trade their barbs and define their approach by not doing what the other would do. The disrespectful one and the voyeur, the special one and the specialist and failure, or whatever names they call each other next. Those two will however be remembered as great managers of their time.
32 countries will be participating at the 2014 World Cup, including Nigeria, whose president Goodluck Jonathan has expressed his intent to be one of the numerous supporters during the Mundial. Jonathan made this known during the week when he said he will be with the Nigerian Super Eagles during their campaign in Brazil. On Flashback, we will do a recap of this very story and other big sports stories we reported in the outgone week.
The board of Nigeria Premier League champions Kano Pillars was on Monday fired by the Kano State government following their early exit from the CAF Championships League. Pillars bowed to AS Vita 4-3 on aggregate despite defeating Congolese side 2-1 in the return leg of the preliminary round. In a bid to reposition the football outfit towards a better outing in the future, the Kano State government have replaced the club's board, but coach Okeo Modi was spared. The International Association of Athletics Federation (IAAF) has approved the Africa cross-country course at Kololo Kololo Ceremonial Ground in Uganda. Head of the IAAF Cross-Country Committee and Vice President of the Africa Athletics Confederation, David Okeyo, led the delegation of the International and Continental Federation on an inspection tour of the course. The Africa Cross-Country Athletics Championship comes up on March the 16th. Nigeria's President Goodluck Jonathan will be in Brazil this summer to support the country's national football team, the Super Eagles, during the FIFA World Cup in June. Jonathan announced this at the presidential villa in Abuja on Wednesday, where he was decorated as Grand Patron of the Nigeria Football Supporters Club. South African club Mamelodi Sundowns on Thursday completed the signing of Nigerian international Ejike Ozoenyi. The winger signed a 4-year contract that will keep him at Sundowns until 2018. UEFA President Michael Platini has predicted that African football is going to become a huge thing and believes European players could eventually play for African clubs. Platini, who was at a meeting with the Confederation of African Football President Issa Hayatou, said UEFA wants to help national football associations in Africa to get better.
And it's about time to call it a day on the show, but let's quickly take a look at what to expect in the coming week. 4 matches were played last Tuesday and Wednesday in the UEFA Champions League, games that saw English teams Manchester City and Arsenal lose at home. More games will be played next week. On Tuesday, Manchester United will hope to put aside their poor domestic league form when they travel to Greek side Olympiacos. Last season's finalist Borussia Dortmund also play away to Zenit St. Petersburg. On Wednesday, Jose Mourinho will be reuniting with his former player Didier Drogba when he leads his Chelsea boys to Turkey to play Galatasaray, while Schalke 04 welcome World Player of the Year Cristiano Ronaldo and his Real Madrid teammates to Germany. And that's a wrap on Sport Week this week on TV Continental. I am Promiser Forgay, signing out.